Good evening. Welcome to the show. Here's the other two reasons I don't mind being taken down or losing a photo. These are the Pack Boys. This is Thomas Pack, William Pack, and I'll be back without the Pack Boys with the first right after this. And a half furlongs. He's a 3-year-old filly. He's claiming tags $35,000, and a man who's been most active at the claim box this meeting, Gaspar Mochera, is taking the favorite. The sky's the limit. Jorge Chavez up.
They're off. The sky's the limit. Bimble Babe, 3 decades coming up the inside. It's 3 decades who will be the early leader, and she scampers clear by 2. The sky's the limit on the outside second. Search for Justice sent through aggressively between horses, and Bimble Babe is down inside and a bit tight fourth. A break of 4 lengths back to Forever True, another 3 to Logical Manor, and another 4 lengths back to Lucky Beach, who is the trailer. 3 decades moving right along on the lead and drilled a quarter in 22 1/5 seconds. The favorite, the sky's the limit, on the chase, second on the outside. Bimble Babe comes through an opening on the rail, and she's now third. Search for Justice flattening out. Moving round her goes Forever True. It's another 3 to Logical Manor, and Lucky Beach still far behind. Moving toward the top of the stretch. It's still 3 decades who has been in command the whole way, and she will pass the quarter pole with a 4-length lead. Ran a half in 45 4. 3 decades heads for home with the lead, but Bimble Babe is cutting into the lead as they come to mid-stretch. The sky's the limit, still running in third. Forever True is fourth. At the 8th pole, Filiberto Leon gets to work. On the front runner, 3 decades still there by 3. Logical Manor putting in a belated bid.
Mark Hopkins' wife, Carol, an excellent handicap in her own right, said, if this track's like yesterday, how about that inside speed? The number 2, 3 decades with the blinkers back on. She's right, and there's big balloons available. G Brothers Stable, John Terranova II. John's the trainer. Filiberto Leon wiring them from the inside. 68, 27, 60, 15. Logical Manor closes well, runs out of racetrack. 610, 490. Forever True, $6. The 2-1, $370.50. Seconds, 1 1/16 over the Mellon Turf Course. Maiden filly, 2-year-olds, a real open bunch, but the favorite is the number 8, Silver Chill, Jean-Luc Samy.
And they're off. From the far outside, it's Last Boat East and Silver Chill who will look for the early lead. Down toward the rail, it's Majestic Sunlight. In between horses, it's None Finer. Copeland's Miss 3 wide. Serene Queen 4 wide. Into the first turn. And coming through on the inside, Majestic Sunlight, just to the inside of Silver Chill. Silver Chill short lead. Majestic Sunlight will run with her right from the beginning. A length and a half back to Last Boat East, running third. Copeland's Mist is fourth toward the inside. Serene Queen is fifth. 2 1/2 back to None Finer, followed closely by Stella Cella. At the back of the pack are Ascutney, Miami Mama, and Inga. Moving up the backstretch, the opening quarter in 23 seconds flat. It's Majestic Sunlight edging to a short lead over Silver Chill. 2 1/2 lengths back. On the outside, Last Boat East runs along in third. Then Copeland's Mist running together with Serene Queen. It's another 2 to None Finer. Ascutney riding the rails. Then Stella Cella beginning to move as they approach the far turn. A break of 3 to Miami Mama and Inga. It's Majestic Sunlight still in charge. On the outside, there goes Last Boat East with a bold move, and in between horses, Silver Chill. Around the far turn, Silver Chill and Majestic Sunlight continue to do battle. Last Boat East on the outside third, Copeland's Miss fourth. Here comes Miami Mama, rallying on the far outside. Stella Cella's in behind the front runners. They're at the top of the stretch. Majestic Sunlight, Last Boat East emerging with the lead. It's Last Boat East in front. Miami Mama on the outside. Majestic Sunlight toward the rail. Stella Cella in traffic. Ascutney closing. They're down to the final 100 yards. It's Last Boat East leading the pack. Ascutney, Miami Mama. Last Boat East. Ascutney, here's the line. Last Boat East holds on.
Remember some of these fillies, they've got a future. The winner, Last Boat East, had raced on the dirt. She enjoys the switch to the weeds, gets home with a big price under Robbie. The second and third horses may have big futures on their pedigree. Ascutney, who was checked constantly, gets free finally and makes a big charge at the end. for John Velasquez finishing second. And Miami Mama, who is super bred for the turf, runs a very big race, blows it, goes very wide. But last boat east, all ashore, Alfred Jr., Richie DeStasio, Robbie Davis, 66.50, 24.40, $10. A Scutney, 760, 470. Miami Mama, 410. The Quinella 3993 is 246.50. Exacta 9 and 3, $725. And the double 2 and 9, wow, $1,337. Here's the third. They're going 7 furlongs. He's a 3 and up, claiming tags 50,000. Gasper's still got plenty of dough. He's claiming number 3, Get Behind Me. Favorite is his horse, Royal Haven, with Mike Smith.
They're off. In mid-pack, it's Rollicking Trick. On the far outside, Fleet Brass. Rollicking Trick to the lead. Fleet Brass. Storm Ashore comes through. Then down toward the inside, Big Tall Dancer is up into 4th. Then it's Dice Flow 5th by 3, Royal Haven. On the outside of Royal Haven is Hobgoblin. Then a break of 5 to Lonsdale. And Stretch Running, Get Behind Me, is at the back of the pack. Rollicking Trick under intense pressure from Storm Ashore. The opening quarter in 22 and 3/5 seconds. Fleet Brass up with the quick pace on the outside third. Big Tall Dancer just in behind the front runners is 4th. Dice Flow being nudged along 5th. Royal Haven is 6th on the outside. Hobgoblin is next. Then Lonsdale. Get Behind Me is a dozen lengths from the speed duel. Around the far turn, Storm Ashore continues to press Rollicking Trick. Those two together through a half in 45 and 2/5 seconds. Fleet Brass just off the lead third. Royal Haven picking it up, moving 4 wide from 4th. From the back of the pack, Get Behind Me is gathering momentum. They're at the top of the stretch. 4 abreast coming to the mid-stretch marker. On the outside, here comes Royal Haven. Rollicking Trick down toward the inside. In between horses, it's Fleet Brass, then Storm Ashore. Get Behind Me 5th, down to the last 16th. And Royal Haven's opening up.
Well, Mochera is about to run 1-2. One he's got, one he's getting. Royal Haven still wearing the bar shoe, wins it. Barbara Davis, Gasper Mochera, and Mike Smith. 590, 360, 290. Get Behind Me from dead last with Paula Kine Bruno. 420, 360. Fleet Brass, $6. The Exacta 2-3, 26.20. There's only 4 in this race. It's 7 furlongs. These are 3 and up at allowance conditions, but it's a pretty impressive 4 horses. Blissful State and Diligence share the favorite role.
And they're off. Devious Course comes out in stride, but Spanos and Diligence are right there, and so is Blissful State. 4 of them right up there. Moving out of the chute and onto the main track, Blissful State. A short lead. Diligence, though, right there with them on the outside. Spanos with what appears to be a relatively easy pace. There's a break of 3 back to Devious Course, who tails off into 4th. Moving down the back stretch, the pace is a sensible one. 23 and 1 for the opening quarter. Blissful State in front, mild pressure from Diligence, and Spanos sitting just outside them. It's another 4 back to Devious Course. Now about 7 lengths from front running Blissful State. Blissful State still the controlling speed here. On the outside, Diligence glued to his flanks. Spanos kept within close striking range. Farther back, Devious Course, a 46 and 1/2 mile. They're approaching the top of the stretch. Blissful State, Diligence right at his neck now. And to their outside, Spanos swings into action. Devious Course is getting into the picture. All in with a chance with 3/16 of a mile to run. Down inside, Blissful State still has something left. Diligence hasn't gotten by him yet. Spanos on a full-out drive on the outside. It's still Blissful State. Now Diligence gets to work. Final 16th, Blissful State and Diligence.
This is a super horse race. Watch these two go to the wire together. They ran around the track this way, but they ran very willingly, and they finished very fast. I think about 12 seconds plus for their final 8. Blissful State does hang on for Lucille Conover, and John Kimmel is having a big meet with Pat Day. 590 and 3, Diligence and no disgrace, 350. Quinella 155, 1920, Exacta 15, 1920, and that pick 3 of 3. I guess you needed an all in the first, $1,495. Here's the 5th. They're sprinting. These are 3 and up. These are state breds. Not one is a race other than 4 to 5 on the John Kimmel entry. Matthew W. double screen.
And they're off. Biggie Munn sent out after the lead. Berry Bid down inside of Biggie Munn. Najinsky's Ghost has come out third. Little Maine is fourth. LeBaire fifth. The double cause on the outside sixth. Matthew W. is seventh. Double Screen is eighth by 3. Then it's General Jeff, followed by Dig Zig, Iron Will, and Star Med. Up the backstretch, Biggie Munn blazing the way through a quarter in 22 2/5 seconds. Biggie Munn takes the field into the far turn, leading by 2. Najinsky's Ghost on the chase second. Little Maine is in between horses, and down inside, Berry Bid. A double cause running 4 wide round the far turn. Matthew W. in behind horses and looking for a way through. Then it's LeBaire. Double Screen is on the outside, now wide and running 8th as the field makes the turn into the stretch. It's been Biggie Munn the whole way, and Biggie Munn cuts the corner, spurts away by 2.5 lengths. Berry Bid second. Here comes Matthew W. Down to the last furlong. Biggie Munn still there. Matthew W. bearing down on him. Double Screen on the outside is now third, and LeBaire is fourth. Berry Bid throws in the towel as Matthew W. takes the lead. And
you're going to need the 4th horse for the triple here if you're betting triple, so watch that photo back there. But the winner is Matthew W., Stephen A. DeMoro, John Kimmel, Richard Migliori, away since August of last year. John Kimmel, second leading trainer, but in percentage, probably the leading trainer, doing extremely well. 370, 273. Biggie Munn, 9 and 790. Double Screen pays the same as the winner. And to get the try, you saw it in the photo, LeBaire from Gaspar Mochera. The 1-4 is 51.50. The try 1-4 and the 4th horse, the 9, $622. With the inner turf, these are 3 and up. They are running at allowance conditions. 2 lukewarm favorites, a Go and Compadre.
they're in the gate. And they're off. Marcy Zenson is keyed up today and goes right out after the early lead. A Go runs in second. Turk Passer's on the outside, and then between horses, Compadre. Marcy Zenson leads the pack. Robbie Davis trying to ration out his speed with 1 lap to go. The leader by a length. Then a Go and Turk Passer in close attendance to the pace. Compadre is drafting in behind horses. And then farther back, it's Sarant, who gets a cozy spot down inside. At the back of the pack, a hard-to-handle Pleasant Tango rank around the first turn. And to his outside is Sentimental Moi. They make the run into the backstretch now. Marcy Zenson and a Go. Turk Passer's now looking for the lead. Sarant drafting neatly in behind the front runners. Compadre a comfortable 5th. 2 lengths back to Sentimental Moi and Pleasant Tango, who's settled down now. Moving up the backstretch, and Marcy Zenson has spurted away to a 2.5 length lead. Marcy Zenson, the leader, ran an opening half mile in an easy 48 3/5 seconds. Heading for the far turn, Marcy Zenson still with the lead. A Go running in second. Turk Passer on the outside. Sarant 4th and strong. Compadre in behind the lead, only 4 lengths from the front. Sentimental Moi moving round horses on the outside, and Pleasant Tango 5 lengths front to back as the field turns for home. Marcy Zenson cuts the corner. Sarant trying to come through a narrow opening on the inside. Sarant's in a real tight spot there. Marcy Zenson holds the lead. Sarant trying to pull his way through. Compadre is full of run. Down to the final 16th, and Sarant comes on through.
I like when a horse fights its way through along the hedge. That's what means horse and rider in the right position, providing he gets through, and he did. Wildenstein Stable, Christopher Clement, Jose Santos, 8-year-old gelding takes to the Saratoga turf. 21, 9, 10, and 450. Compadre, 440, 320. Sentimental Moi, 330. 6-4, $94. On to the 7th. They're going a mile and a 16th on the Mellon turf. These are fillies and mares 3 and up. Now one is the 3 other than the favorite, a first time on the turf, well-bred filly, Ever Hope with Craig Perrette.
I'll tell you when, we're not ready yet. All right, let's get tied on.
And they're off. Positive Charger gets out first. Ever Hope down inside. Then Soft Spot, Lamplight. Farthest out, Alien Strike, who will be caught wide into the turn. Sweet Sultana slips up the fence into the first turn, and it's Ever Hope with a short lead. Positive Charger second. Soft Spot 3 wide third. Sweet Sultana tucks away on the inside 4th. It's 2 lengths back. Bud Zagrea now running in 5th. Then Just Wonderful, followed by Lamplight. Assertive Dancer lingering at the back of the pack, along with Alien Strike and Bien Sucre, is the trailer as they make their way into the backstretch. It's Everhope in front by a length. Soft Spot follows in second. Sweet Sultana Rating in third. Positive Charger is fourth, about 3.5 lengths from the lead. Down inside, Just Wonderful moving sweetly in fifth position. Alongside her, Vadzagrea is comfortable in sixth. Then it's Assertive Dancer. Lamplight coming under a ride as they approach the far turn. And at the back of the pack, Bien Sucre and Alien Strike. It's still Everhope in control. Rounding the far turn, Everhope holding on to the lead by a length and a half. Soft Spot trying to get closer, but Everhope draws away by 2.5 lengths. Sweet Sultana down inside, looms a threatening third. 2 lengths back to Just Wonderful, switch to the outside for the run into the stretch. Assertive Dancer comes up the rail, Vadzagrea taken wide. Field turning for home. Craig Perrette looks back on Everhope. Craig Perrette has a handful of horse coming past the 8th pole, but here comes a handful of challengers. Just Wonderful on the outside, now charging hard second. Assertive Dancer is third. Final 16th, Everhope still has them measured.
Dynamite turf pedigree, but it is going off the favorite, and it's the horse's first shot on the turf. But she proves up to the task, and again, if you're betting pick threes, it is the middle leg. G. Watts Humphrey Jr., Pamela Furman, Will Farish, Rusty Arnold, Craig Perrette being 5 pounds over in her. 640, 410, and 310. Assertive Dancer, 520, 360. Bien Sucre, 310. The exacta 2.6, $37.20. Here's the Spinaway, 105th running. I love those numbers up here. It's a grade 1, $200,000, 7 furlongs. These are 2-year-old fillies. We'll give you 4 to 5 on Pearl City and Jerry Bailey.
Drop. Private Pursuit on the far outside. Last 2 states, and how about now? Annie Cakes is up close early, fabulously fast down toward the inside. Pearl City off just a beat slowly, up to join the leaders now. Moving down the back stretch, and last 2 states a short lead. On the outside, Annie Cakes pressing hard. Fabulously Fast is there, and right there in the thick of it is Pearl City. Storm Song just in behind the lead, and she's 5th. Private Pursuit is 6th on the outside. High Heeled Hope is 7th at the rail. A break of 4 to How About Now, and another 3 back to the trailer Oath. A lively first quarter in 22 1/5 seconds. They're moving into the far turn. Fabulously Fast in front by a half length. Pearl City staying with her. Annie Cakes continues to run with the pacemakers, 3rd by 2. High Heeled Hope advancing to 4th. Storm Song is 5th, 5 lengths from the lead. Then it's How About Now toward the inside. Private Pursuit takes to the far outside. And Oath, the field turning for home. Fabulously Fast and Pearl City head-to-head at the top of the stretch. Pearl City on the outside, Fabulously Fast, has something left. She'll pass the 8th pole with the lead by a neck. Pearl City on the outside 2nd. Oath is now 3rd. Down to the final 16th, Fabulously Fast. And Pearl City head-to-head the length of the stretch. And here comes Oath, charging hard in the shadow of the wire. And Oath comes from last to first to win the spin.
Nice trip for this horse with these 2 up front just battling each other to a 110, 6 furlongs. They've never gone 7. So from way back, here comes Oath. Shane Sellers making his way between horses, comes through in the final 16th. Wins going away. Mel Brooks is giving him the trophy. Oddly enough, Mel's host, Caesar Kimmel, his filly finished 3rd in that photo. She was the speed on the inside. But Oath swears to the win. Cherry Valley Farm, Frank Brothers, and Shane Sellers. 35-29, 35-10. Pearl City the favorite, 320-250. Fabulously Fast, 530. 7-4, 81.50. Try 742, $612. And the pick 3, 627, $1,161. As for the pick 6, carry over. Nobody pick 6, 58,000 here tomorrow. 5 of 6, 249.50. Here's the last, mile and 3/8 in a turf, 3 and up. Now is a race other than 6 to 5. Crafty Virginian, Jean-Luc Samy.
And they're off. Charlie Cush strikes out for the lead, but there goes Bud Like. Bud Like up to take the early lead. Hailed to the line, was checked and taken up sharply on the first turn. Around the far turn, Bud Like is the early leader. Count Me in second on the inside. Sovereign Rula up close 3rd. Royal Robe steadied back on the inside 4th. Charlie Cush is 5th. Moving by us for the first time, Count Me In sharing the lead with Bud Light, who's on the outside. A break of 2.5 lengths back to Sovereign Ruler 3rd. Royal Robe is 4th. Charlie Cush taken under a hard hold 5th, about 6 lengths from the lead. Then it's a break of another 4 back to Private Gift and Hail to the Line. Crafty Virginian. A break of another 3 back to Yankee Loverboy, and the trailer is Flying Casey. The opening quarter went in 23 2/5 seconds. The opening half mile in 46 4. The pace is very strong. Count Me In sharing the lead with Bud Light through swift early fractions. Toward the inside, Royal Robe hard held by Mike Smith. A restrained 3rd. Sovereign Rulers on the outside 4th. 2.5 back to Charlie Cush, hard held 5th. On the outside now, it's Private Gift advancing from 6th. Then it's Hail to the Lion, Crafty Virginian. Yankee Loverboy is second to last. And the trailer is Flying Casey, about 10 lengths from the front. 3/4 in 1:12 2. And Count Me In now has a clear advantage over Bud Light. Royal Robe's had a good trip so far while saving ground. Sovereign Ruler is 4th. Charlie Cush takes to the outside for a clear aim at the lead 5th. From the back of the pack now, beginning to advance on the outside, is Flying Casey. Hail to the Lion is coming through and opening on the inside. They're rounding the far turn. Here comes Charlie Cush. Charlie Cush sweeping past the weakening Count Me In. Royal Robe comes on through at the top of the stretch. Charlie Cush opening up now by 2. Royal Robe is second. Count Me In a weakened 3rd. Sovereign Ruler is 4th. Crafty Virginian moving late, but in the meantime, Charlie Cush has given them the slip.
Last time out, this horse had an outside post on the inner going 1.5 miles. Today, Chavez uses the inside effectively, just stays near the speeds, takes over, challenges them to catch him, and they don't. Lee Picoit, Gary Siaka, Jorge Chavez. Charlie Cush, $24.60, $11.47. Royal Robe, $9.10, $4.20. Crafty Virginian, $2.60. 3/5s, $1.59. Try, 3/5-1, $4.97. Double, 7 and 3, $3.78. Scratches in the first take out the 2 Celestial Glance. In the second, the 13 Carousel Corner, 14 See You in Saratoga. In the third, remember, a lot of also eligibles. The 11 Double North Spy, 14 Solo Approval, 15 Trusty Chris, 16 Fields of Athenry, 17 Jangels, right through 20 Bijan Silk. As you know, we did salute a great horse today. Tomorrow, again, last Saturday, I can't describe the weather anymore. I'm tired of telling you how nice it is up here. But the big thing today was we saluted Cigar. Jerry gave him a public workout. He went 6 in a very easy 1:16 and change. But the public loved seeing him. They filed out to see him. And you, too, will file out watching Cigar. Good night. May the horse be with you. Good evening, welcome to the show, the penultimate day here at Saratoga, and of course the big t-shirt giveaway. Attendance, believe it'll register at 47,000, but most of them did stay around for the races because the weather was great, the season is winding down, the people up here like their horse racing, and we'll see what they saw right after this. Seven furlongs. These are maiden filly 2-year-olds. The favorite here, the number 6, Dove Shell with Mike Smith.
And they're off. Chantilly Lake comes out in stride toward the inside. All the moves is there. Dove Shell broke well. Water Street is coming on through. Maiden Fair on the outside along with Razim up the backstretch. And on the far outside is Minister's Melody now up to grab a short lead. Minister's Melody is in front by a head. Water Street second ahead. All the moves third a half. Chantilly Lake shuffled back on the inside fourth. Hale is fifth, Dove Shell sixth, and on the far outside, Razim moving from seventh. Set the Tone is eighth. Indiana is now ninth. Maiden Fair is running 10th as the field heads for the far turn. The first quarter went in 23 and 1/5 seconds. On the turn, up top, Minister's Melody out there by a length and a half. Water Street on the chase second. All the moves on the inside, running in third. Chantilly Lake between horses fourth. Dove Shell within striking range, only 4 lengths from the lead, and on the outside fifth. Farther back, Maiden Fair beginning to hit her best stride. They're nearing the top of the stretch. Minister's Melody still with a short lead. Water Street right at her neck. Chantilly Lake, Dove Shell on the far outside. All the moves is coming up the fence in Maiden Fair. They're coming down to mid-stretch now. It's still Minister's Melody. Minister's Melody by 3/4 of a length. Water Street on the outside doing her best, but Minister's Melody still holding her off. They're 3/4 of a length. Water Street's making that desperate last lunge, but she's not going to catch Minister's Melody. If you looked at this race, Pat Day had a choice of 3 mounts. He chose Minister's Melody. He rode her last time. It was a wet track. She gets Lasix today, breaks out of the gate a little awkwardly, and wires the field. Stonerside Stable, Niall O'Callahan, Pat Day, Minister's Melody, 1360, 725.80. Water Street, 1380, 1180. Maiden Fair, 1280. The exacta 10 and 4, $140. Here's the second. They're going 7 furlongs. These are 3-year-old fillies. Claiming tag 75,000. They absolutely couldn't make up their mind. Look at the board. They're in the gate. And they're off. 3-pack All Blue and Not Bright Brilliant scrimmage for the early lead. It's All Blue to the lead. 3-pack running second. On the outside, Not Bright Brilliant with the pace third by 2. Stylish Encore is fourth. Light Up New York fifth. And On the Treetop was steadied soon after leaving the starting gate. Still in a bit tight down on the inside as the field moves up the backstretch. All Blue scampers clear by a length and a half. Not Bright Brilliant sitting second. And 3-pack back to third. The opening quarter in 22 and 3/5 seconds. Stylish Encore is 5 lengths from the lead, running in fourth position. It's another 2.5 to Light Up New York and On the Treetop, the trailers. Around the far turn, All Blue still in charge, 3/4 of a length. Not Bright Brilliant glued to her, second on the outside, 2 lengths back, 3-pack trying to come through an opening on the rail. Stylish Encore is joining the leaders on the outside. The field turns for home. All Blue ran a pressured half in 46 and 1. Not Bright Brilliant to the attack at the top of the stretch. On the outside, Stylish Encore trying to bear down on the front runners. And 3-pack at the rail coming to the 8th pole. Not Bright Brilliant, a narrow lead. All Blue fighting on gamely at the inside. Stylish Encore still coming hard. 16.
The filly with the strange name takes over. Night Bright Brilliant. There's a big move from Stylish Encore coming to the wire, but the wire is going to come before the horse. Not Bright Brilliant. Sydney Port, John M. DeStefano, Robbie Davis. 890, 440, 320. Stylish Encore, 390, 290. All Blue, 320. Quinella 6776, 1540. Exacta 7 and 6, 29.40. And the double, the 10 and 7, $70.50. On to the third race today. This is at 7 furlongs. These are 3-year-olds. Now wins a race other than Maiden claiming a starter. Again, a very open board. A couple of 5-2s and a 3-1. Good betting race.
And they're off. Back Ring Al gets out first. Boyhood Dream and Crafty Friend. Here comes the Pro Monroe to join the early leaders. And then it's Let Good Times Roll, running 5th on the inside. At the back of the pack are Kalka and Pitchley. Up the backstretch, it's the Pro Monroe with the short lead. Boyhood Dream running second now. Crafty Friend is back to third. Let Good Times Roll, rating 4th on the inside. On the outside, it's Back Ring Al. Kalka still at the back of the pack with Pitchley. A spirited first quarter there in 22 and 1/5 seconds. They're zipping right along as they pass the half-mile pole. And there goes Crafty Friend with a sweeping move after the leader. The leader, Pro Monroe. The Pro Monroe holding on by a neck. Crafty Friend on the outside. Boyhood Dream continues to mix it up in between those two. Here's Back Regal to join the fray on the outside fourth. Just in behind the first flight are Calca on the outside and Let Good Times Roll, looking for a way through at the rail. They're turning for home. Crafty Friend, short lead at the top of the stretch. It's Crafty Friend, the leader. The Pro Monroe second on the inside. Here comes Let Good Times Roll. Out for the drive third. Back Regal fourth. Down to the last furlong. Crafty Friend by a head. Let Good Times Roll is on a roll. Let Good Times Roll and Crafty Friend trying to fight him off. Those two ding-dong battle down to the line. Let Good Times Roll. Crafty Friend. Let Good Times Roll by a head. Crafty Friend second.
Good finish here, benefiting from the speed duel. Here comes Let Good Times Roll. Crafty Friend, one off a layoff, was heavily played and runs very well up to the level at which it was wagered on. But the speed duel cooked it. Let Good Times Roll. In Sakara Stable, Phil Serpy, John Velasquez. 1084.80, 380. Crafty Friend, 423.50. Back Ring Al, 450. Exacta 1 and 4, $45.20. On to the fourth, a mile and 3/16 over the melon turf. 3-year-olds, now one is a 3 of the maiden claiming a starter. We're going to give you even money on Same Old Wish and Pat Day.
And they're off. On the outside, it's Head Trip, who's up and after the early lead. Premium is there. Down inside, Same Old Wish. Out from under is taken under a hard hold in the early going. Then it's Mr. Bluebird, and the early trailer is Yayumel. It's Head Trip breezing along on a clear and uncontested lead. And Premium now coming out second. Mr. Bluebird moving 3 wide into the turn. Same Old Wish. And then out from under at the back of the pack is Yayumel as they race round the clubhouse turn. Up top, it's Head Trip through an easy first quarter of 24 seconds flat. Premium sitting back in second. Mr. Bluebird third. Same Old Wish is fourth toward the inside. Out from Enter, rating 5 lengths from the lead. Yayumel is still at the back of the pack as they begin their run up the backstretch after an opening half mile and a comfortable 48 2/5 seconds. Head Trip still in front. Jorge Chavez rationing out his speed to maintain a 1-length advantage over Premium. Mr. Bluebird sitting just outside the lead. Yayumel is making headway now, has moved up a couple positions to run in fourth. The favorite, Same Old Wish, is down on the inside of Out From Under. A tight pack, 5 lengths front to back, moving into the far turn. Head Trip still in front. Premium continues to prompt the pace second. Head Trip called on for a bit more to try to stay just in front of Premium. Mr. Bluebird on the outside. Then Yayumel, Same Old Wish at the back with Out From Under. Nearing the top of the stretch. Head Trip, Premium, and Mr. Bluebird arrive at the top of the stretch together. And then Same Old Wish coming out for the drive. On the far outside, it's Out From Under. They're coming down to the final furlong. Mr. Bluebird is emerging with the lead. It's Mr. Bluebird in front. Same Old Wish charging hard. Mr. Bluebird will pass the 16th pole.
If you like Same Old Wish at even money, you weren't paying attention. This horse hasn't won in 2 years. Sure, it's been running with better, but it hasn't been able to find the winner's circle. Nice job here by John Kimmel and Mike Smith. They rate Mr. Bluebird. They let Head Trip take the lead. Mr. Bluebird finds a new dimension today and is in the winner's circle for the 4th time this year. Thomas Warfield, John Kimmel, Mike Smith, 630, 270, 230. Same Old Wish, 250, 210. Premium, 270. Quinella 1331 is $5. The Exacta 31, $12.80. Pick 3, 7, 1, and 3. Generous at $173. On to the 5th. This is 7 furlongs, maiden 3 and up. They are state breds, and the favorite here, they were all over the board on this too. They ended up with the 3 Tahapo, Robbie Davis.
And they're off. The Last Samaj comes out running for the lead. Rough Grouse is also away in good order. Jeff Slew is there. Madison Avenue 4th on the far outside. Top of Hope is away 5th. Down on the inside, Dit moves up from 6th. Speediation 7th, Camarouge is 8th, Wax Moon 9th, then Canoeist 10th on the inside, G. Gordon on the far outside is 11th, and Outrun Badly in the early going is timing perfect. Moving up the backstretch, the quarter in 22 3/5 seconds. Rough Grouse has come on to grab a short lead from the Last Samaj. Those two head to head at the half-mile pole. Jeff Slew looms a threat, and he's moving after the lead on the outside third now. Tahoe still in the mix. He's 4th, only 2.5 lengths from the lead. Then it's another 2.5. back to Madison Avenue, under a ride 5th. Another 3.5 back to Speediation, followed by Did. Nearing the top of the stretch, the last Samaj shakes loose from Rough Grouse, but a fresh challenge to come from Jeff Slew. Tahapo angled inside 3rd. Madison Avenue and Speediation. The field turning for home. The last Samaj under a heavy drive. Jeff Slew on the outside. Tahapo finds a seam, and here he comes. It's still the last Samaj. Tahapo takes a run at him at the 8th hole. Jeff Slew 3rd, Speediation 4th, down to the final 16.
Lightly raced Tahapo has run a couple of races where he looked like he should have won and he didn't. You might have thought he was getting some bad habits, but he proves today the habits are no longer bad. Tahapo, easiest kind of winner for Milton Ritzenberg, Bruce Johnstone, and Robbie Davis. 670, 420, 350. The last Samaj, that's James spelled backwards, 1349.60. Speediation, there's Clifford Dooley again, 850 to show. 3-6 is 85.50. Try 3-6-12, $1,600. On an 8th, he's a 3 and up. Now, when is a race other than Maiden claiming a starter? Again, another pretty darn good betting race. Late money showed for the number 4 Testimonial, John Velasquez.
And they're off. There goes Testimonial immediately to the front, but will be joined early by Count on Gold. Testimonial in front, prompted by Count on Gold. Down toward the inside, Harvey's Point has come out 3rd. Uncle Albie taken under a hard hold to run along in 4th. It's 3 lengths back to Dances, another 3 to Seminole Storm, and the early trailer is Mi Maestro. Into the clubhouse turn. Testimonial, short lead. Count on Gold continues to press. 2nd on the outside. Harvey's Point gets a cozy spot early, moving neatly in 3rd position, and alongside Harvey's Point, it's Uncle Albie, who's running 4th by 1.5 lengths. Dances takes to the outside for a clear run into the backstretch. It's another 2.5 lengths back to a conserved Seminole Storm, and Mi Maestro continues to trail the field. Testimonial, they're turning up the pressure now, ran a half in 48 and 1/5 seconds. Count on Gold pressing a bit harder. On the outside, Uncle Albie now running 3rd. On the inside, Harvey's Point set a perfect trip so far. Dances has made progress now to draw within 4 lengths of the lead. And then it's Seminole Storm and another 5 back to Mi Maestro, who's working harder at the back of the pack. Around the far turn, it's still Testimonial trying to go all the way on the lead. Uncle Albie right there 2nd. Here comes Dances now with his rally. Seminole Storm kicking in on the outside. Then Harvey's Point, Count on Gold backpedaling, and Mi Maestro takes to the outside. They're at the top of the stretch. Testimonial cuts the corner, spurts away by 2.5 lengths. Uncle Albie running 2nd. On the outside, it's Dances and Seminole Storm in the final furlong. Testimonial still there. Uncle Albie trying to take another run at him as they come down to the line. Then Dances, Seminole Storm coming down to the finish. Testimonial, Uncle Albie, Testimonial by a head. Uncle Albie.
Well, you're not supposed to bet Testimonial because it's his first time on the turf and he went off the favorite, but he didn't become the favorite till the last few flashes. You knew he was the only speed in the race. He gets that clear lead. The only one challenging him here is Jerry Bailey, and Jerry's going to run out of racetrack. Testimonial, John Caputo, Marvin Yu, Sandy Wong, Dominic Schettino, and John Velasquez. 630, 410, 330. Uncle Albie, 450, 360. Seminole Storm, 530. The exacta 4 and 8, $27. Here's the 7 furlongs, fillies and mares 3 and up, and allowance conditions. Favorites here, it's a very small field. A field of 4. Take a look at 3 of them, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, and 8 to 5.
My Bride Barbara breaks out on top. Golden Gale came away 2nd. On the outside, Smooth Charmer. And Mary McGlinchey out-sprinted in the early going. Up the backstretch, the quickest from the gate is My Bride Barbara. She steps away to a 2.5 length lead. Golden Gale trying to keep within close striking range in the early going. On the outside, Smooth Charmer runs along, rating 3rd. Then a break of 2.5. Back to Mary McGlinchey, who trails the field. Moving up the backstretch, John Velasquez trying to throttle down the speed of a keyed up My Bride Barbara. Zipped a quarter in 22 and 1 and leads by 2.5 into the far turn. Golden Gale on the inside, Smooth Charmer on the outside, and Mary McGlinchey. Around the far turn, My Bride Barbara opening up now by 4.5 lengths. My Barbara opening up by 5.5 lengths. Ran a half in 45 1/5 seconds. My Bride Barbara all alone at the quarter pole. Smooth Charmer running second. On the outside, Mary McGlinchey has advanced to third. Then it's Golden Gale fourth. Coming to mid-stretch, John Velasquez takes a peek back on My Bride Barbara to see the competition 5.5 lengths away. Mary McGlinchey trying to cut into that lead as they come down.
So the owners of the Windbound Farm dining with trainer Gary Siaka last night. They must have been laughing about this race where they were the controlling speed. She just pops out of the gate and speed pops the field. As expected, she opened 1-2. She drifted up. The Windbound Farm's Gary Siaka, John Velasquez picks up his third. My Bride Barbara, 5:30, 3:50. Mary McGlinchey. Barbara and Mary, 580 to show, and that exact in the 4-horse field, 2 and 1, $33.20. On to the feature, mile and eighth over the Mellon Turf, 58th running, the Diana, grade 2, $200,000, and the favorite in this race, the number 6, Apolda, Jerry Bailey.
And they're off. La Turca comes out for the early lead. Down on the hedge, Chelsea Flower. There goes Future Act. Julie Crone takes the initiative with Future Act. To her inside, Chelsea Flower. Danish up close and eager. Down toward the inside, La Turca now running fourth. Caress is fifth, and on the outside, Apolda's moving through between horses in tight quarters. Then Electric Society, Upper Noosh is down on the inside, and a break of 6. Back to Powder Bowl, who trails the field. Around the first turn, Future Act out there, clear now by 1.5 lengths. Danish Headstrong edging up second. Caress moves to third. The opening quarter, 22 3/5 seconds. A taxing opening quarter mile there. Set by Future Act. Danish in close attendance. And Danish under a hard hold by Jose Santos. He does not want to go by yet. But there goes Apolda. Jerry Bailey moves with Apolda. Midway down the backstretch. Caress is on the move. Future Act now fades to fourth. La Turca running in fifth, followed by Electric Society. Chelsea Flower. They're followed by Upper Noosh in a break of 4. Back to Powder Bowl, still trailing. They ran a half mile in 47 seconds flat. They're rounding the far turn. It's Danish, Caress, and Apolda across the course with less than 3 furlongs to run. There goes Electric Society now, rallying to be fourth on the outside. La Turca nowhere to go, shuffled back to fifth. Then Future Act, Upper Noosh, and Powder Bowl is getting in gear. And the field turns for home. It's Danish down inside. Caress is right there. Electric Society on the outside. And Powder Bowl continues to charge down the center of the course. Upper Noosh gets caught in traffic in the final furlong. Electric Society. Here comes Powder Bowl on the outside. Electric Society under a furious drive, clinging desperately to the lead. Powder Bowl, then Upper Noosh, Chelsea Flower. Here's the line. Too close to call.
At the Paddock Club today, Mark Hopkins gave out Powder Bowl as his long shot of the day. It's 25 to 1. I know where his seat is. He knows he won the race. Bad angle when you're not by the finish line. Watch it here. She wins the race, but she lost the bob and loses it by a nose. Electric Society, Gary Tanaka, another trainer who cannot be denied at this meeting, like H. James Bond and Billy Mott. John Kimmel, what a percentage he's sending out. Mike Smith up. 16, 40, 10, and 8-10. Not a bad pick by Mark. Powder Bowl, 21 and 930. Upper Noosh, 820. The 710 is 392. Try 710-3, $4,508. And the pick 3, 427, 3 of 3, 131.50. The pick 6, well, it was hit, but if it hadn't been hit, it wouldn't matter because we give it all out tomorrow, no matter what happens. It's the final day of the meet. 6 of 6, 7,106, 5 of 6, $110. Here's the finale. It's a mile and eighth over the inner turf. Maiden fillies and mares, 3 and up. Once again, the favorite is Billy Mott, Jerry Bailey, number 5, Valenta.
They're in the gate. And they're off. On the rail, Grand Approval getting out first. Saratoga Mist is there. In between horses, Weather Lady. Here's Lafortage and Misuk. Lafortage now up to take the lead. Misuk second. Elizabeth Ray to join the early fray. She's now third on the outside. Weather Lady is fourth. Valenta's alongside her fifth. Iron Pixie running on the outside in sixth position. Grand Approval is now seventh. Saratoga Mist was checked followed on the outside by Moneybags. At the back of the pack in the early going are In the District, Social Sovereign, and the trailer is Prosper. They're making their way into the backstretch. The leader is Lafartage, pushed along by Elizabeth Ray through sharp quarter there in 22 4/5 seconds. Then it's Weather Lady down inside. On the outside, Valenta. Valenta running in third. Weather Lady hard held fourth. Me Sook fifth. Grand Approval sixth on the inside. Iron Pixie seventh. Moneybags. On the outside, there goes In the District now, moving swiftly on the far outside with a half mile to go. Prosper's also in gear. Heading into the far turn, they ran a half in 47 4/5 seconds. Lafartage and Elizabeth Ray continue to run 1-2. Valenta stalking third. Weather Lady on the inside is fourth. In the District is moved up in the pack to be fifth. Iron Pixie in the thick of it, only 3 lengths from the lead. And on the outside, Prosper's also in with the chance. The field turning for home. Lafartage cuts the corner. Valenta right there on the outside. It's Valenta taking the lead in mid-stretch. Valenta is the leader. Lafartage is second. Here comes In the District, putting in a belated bid on the outside. It is Valenta in front by 2.5 lengths. In the District giving chase as they come down to the line, followed by Weather Lady third, coming down to the finish. Valenta In the District, and Valenta won by a neck. In the District.
If you were looking at numbers in this race, you couldn't understand why Valenta was 4-5 and In the District wasn't 4-5. In the District really figures to be faster. However, if you want to rerun the race, check the trips. Look where Jerry is, right where you have to be to just hold on for a nice win. Alan Paulson, Billy Mott, Jerry Bailey. 380, 270, 260. In the District, 410, 370. Weather Lady, 420. The exacta favorites in order, 5-4's 1460. The try, I think that's the favorites in order, 5-4-6, $59. Double 7 and 5, $37.80. So we have 6 turf races. A lot of horses are entered. There are a lot of also eligibles. It is Labor Day, our first Labor Day at Saratoga. In the first, take out the 12, every bit a lady. In the second, the 6 stun the crowd, 13 hunt the fox. In the third, the 9 renewed, 14 skip and stoned, and 15 bristle. In the seventh, the 13 just like Jill through the 16 party frock. The 17 Halloween mass through the 19, 36 on ice. The 10th race, the 15 Whiteacre, 16 Castano, 17 Penny's Beach. And add in the 18 West Fork, 19 Maple Sugar, 20 By the Ocean. To repeat, tomorrow is the last day of the meeting. That means the pick 6 will be distributed, whether there's 1 winner or 100 winners. It also means 6 on the turf. Now, the storm that's hit the New York area, or is scheduled to hit it, hasn't affected us as yet. We're hoping not to have any rain, but even if we do, the last day of the meeting will be a little more generous about leaving them on the turf. I promise you this would be the best week up here. I was right. If you didn't listen to me, you made a mistake. Good night. May the horse be with you. Welcome to the show. This is the 34th day of the meeting, and for the first time ever, we've done all 30 shows, 34 this year, in the gazebo, meaning it never rained, it never forced us indoors. But we had 10 today to close it out. Right after this, you'll see them. Mr. Weatherman, mile and 1/8 inner turf, fillies and mares 3 and up, claiming tags 50,000. The favorite, Royal Pellereau, Jerry Bailey.
And they're off. High talent on the far outside toward the inside Canava. Julio Pazua sending Canava aggressively to the front. And then it's Hooded Dancer. Royal Pelino finds a spot inside right from the beginning. And the gray Heirloom Wish is close to the pace. Now running third. Royal Pelino's fourth toward the inside. High Talent settles back in fifth. There's a break of 5 back to the others. Wild Plum, followed by Katie's Flag, A Day to Remember. Bendel Bonnet galloping along easily at the back of the pack. The field moving into the clubhouse turn. Wild Plum blew the turn, blew it badly, very rank and very wide. And the rest of them continue on their way into the backstretch. It's Canava. Canava in front, out there by 3, trying to bear out just a bit. And Pazua keeping after Canava to maintain a 3.5 length advantage over Hooded Dancer second. High Talent threading her way through. Royal Pelino fourth, and Heirloom Wish 5 lengths from the front fifth. A break of about 6 or 7 back to Katie's Flag, followed by A Day to Remember, then Wild Plum and Bendel Bonnet. The opening half mile was a strong one, 47 seconds flat over the firm going. They're heading for the far turn, and they have caught Canava. It's Canava now by a half length. Hooded Dancer trying to get by Canava on the far turn. High Talent down inside. Heirloom Wish is running in fourth, and then it's Royal Pelino. Katie's Flag still within striking range as they near the top of the stretch. High Talent has come through an opening on the inside. Canava now back in second. Royal Pelino up on the inside. On the far outside, here comes Katie's Flag storming down the center of the course. Heirloom Wish is in with a very good chance, passing the 8th pole. Royal Pelino coming up the inside. High Talent, Heirloom Wish, and Katie's Flag all flying at the end. High Talent.
It's going to be a good start for long shot players. Keep your eye on Katie's Flag. That filly's been on a drive, and it's going to be a winning drive. Anthony Montesano the third. John Terranova gets the second winner of the meet. Alberto Castillo, Katie's Flag, Big Balloons, 37.60, 15.730. Heirloom Wish, one of the 2 favorites, 380, 290. Bendel Bonnet, 350. The 4-9, $180. Here's the second. This is 7 furlongs. He's a maiden 2-year-old. The favorite, the number 7, Quiet Minstrel, Pat Day.
And they're off. Pavan-Putra comes out running. Shakertown came out walking. Pavan-Putra sprints to the lead. Opens up by 2. Double Knot Spy second on the inside. Quiet Minstrel third. In between horses, Captain Easy is fourth. And on the outside, Sohobo running fifth. Here's Accelerator moving up the inside 6th. Jack Flash is 7th. Can't We All is 8th. And then it's Smoke Signal, who's now 9th, and behind horses about 8 lengths from the lead. Followed on the outside by Big River. Down toward the inside, NXS Ice. And slow starting Shakertown is the trailer. 22-4 opening quarter, and the field heads for the far turn. Pavan-Putra the leader, with Captain Easy hard on his heels running second. On the outside, Quiet Minstrel third. Double Knot Spy down on the inside fourth. On the outside, Wouldn't We All, only 2 lengths from the lead, followed by Jack Flash, and on the outside, Soho Bo. A break of 4 back to Smoke Signal. They're nearing the top of the stretch. Pavan-Putra is still in charge. Pavan-Putra comes to the quarter pole with a 1.5 length lead. In between horses, Captain Easy down on the inside. Double Knot Spy trying to come through on the rail. Down to the last furlong now. Pavan-Putra in front. Double Knot Spy has room on the inside. Quiet Minstrel on the outside. Captain Easy and Jack Flash farthest out. Wouldn't We All in the final furlong. Crone getting busy on Pavan-Putra, still there by 2.
The lady told me Julie Crone got me out for the meet. I said, I'm glad you waited for today. This is our leading trainer, Billy Mott. How do you like this price? Yusuf Mongrove, Billy Mott, and Julie Crone, 57, 21, 60, 12, 20. Captain Easy, 810, 830. Jack Flash, same entry, 810, 830. Granella, 110, 10, 1, weight 80, 183.50. The exact, the 10 and 1. $431.50. The double, I think it's the second biggest of the meet. 410, $1,311. Here's the third, a mile and a 16th. Over the inner turf, these are maiden 2-year-olds. The favorites, lukewarm outside, Trample and Thesaurus.
And they're off. Toward the outside, Thesaurus coming up in mid-pack, Trey, along with our Irish Bow. They're moving by us for the first time, and Trey is the leader. Thesaurus, the gray, prompting second on the outside. Beaufort River third. Our Irish Bow alongside in fourth. Fields of Athenry has found his way to the inside fifth. Trusty Chris a bit wide into the turn 6 with clear title, 7th and saving ground. A break of 3 to Trample, another 3 to Jangles. Yield Curve is the early trailer. They're making their way into the backstretch. Ramon Perez nursing the early speed of Trey, out there by 2, with Thesaurus running along second through an opening quarter of 23 1/5 seconds. Moving down the backstretch, Trey in front, Thesaurus in no hurry to go by. Our Irish Bow in the clear, running 4 wide. Fields of Athenry is right up there. Beaufort River kept within 4 of the lead. On the outside, it's With Clear Title, followed by Trusty Chris. Jerry Bailey wants that one closer. Then it's Trampled Jangles and Yield Curve still at the back. Ramon Perez has a measured lead with Trey. They're still in front 3/4 of a length. Thesaurus looms a threat on the outside second. Fields of Athenry third. Our Irish Row revving up on the far outside fourth. With Clear Title is fifth. Trample is advancing while saving ground as the field turns for home. Trey cuts the corner and Trey spurts away by 2. Thesaurus under a drive second, but Trey is opened up by 2.5 lengths. Thesaurus now getting on track. Here comes Trample. Down to the final.
Outside post, no good on the inner, so they say. Watch this finish. That's Thesaurus on the outside, the 8-horse Trample inside. They're going to hit the wire together, but Thesaurus, who ran very well on the dirt with approval, Cole figures to improve on grass and does. Charlie Seller, Pete Vestal, and Jose Santos. 810, 393, Trample 383, Trey 320. The 9/8, $36.80. Fourth's a mile and 1/8. These are 3-year-olds. They're in for $50,000. 2 of them will be claimed. The 1A Circle of Light, the favorite, will go to the man who's been the most active in the claim box, Gaspar Mochera. The number 6, Remember Cash, second most active man, Bobby Lake.
The outside Circle of Light drafting in behind the early lead. Tom and Kath with a nifty move. Finds the inside in the early going. It's a break of 3 back to reach up. Newsbreaker is allowed to take up a position at the back of the pack with the trailer Northern Shaker. They're making their way around the clubhouse turn, and it's Just Count on Me on top by length. Pressure coming now from Remember Cass up to dispute the pace. Trading Genius 3 wide round the first turn. Tom and Kath rating nicely, and his stablemate Circle of Light is alongside. Then a break of 4 to reach up, a break of 3 to an unhurried Newsbreaker, and a break of 6 back to Northern Shaker. Ramon Perez trying to motivate him. The opening quarter went in 24 1/5 seconds. And with Just Count on Me running the opening half in a very comfortable 49 seconds flat. The pace is an easy one. Just Count on Me, and on the outside, Trading Genius offering some mild pressure. Just in behind, Remember Cass runs in third. Circle of Light now makes a move. There goes Circle of Light advancing on the outside to third. Farther back, it's Tom and Kath, followed by Reach Up, the Newsbreaker a long way back to Northern Shaker around the far turn. Just Count on Me, Trading Genius slugging it out on the turn. Circle of Light stalking on the outside. Remember Cass in with a good chance. Right in behind the lead and ready to go from fourth. A break of 3 back to Tom and Kath, followed by Reach Up and Newsbreaker, who's about 10 lengths from the lead. At the top of the stretch, it's Just Count on Me. Just Count on Me is the leader. Remember Cass, Jose Santos looking for a way through. He's got a seam now. It's Just Count on Me still in front. Remember Cass put to a drive second. On the outside, Circle of Light and Trading Genius down to the
This looked like a 3-horse race on paper. They claimed 2 of them. The one on the inside was one of the 3 that they did not claim, and that's going to be the winner. Just Count on Me, Goslow Stable, Alan Brodsky, Stanley Huff, Stanley Trains, Chavez. 693, 6230. Remember Cash, 340, 220. Circle of Light, 210. Quinella, 2662, 1080. Exacta, 262160. The pick 3, 1092, $2,407. Here's the 5th. They're going 7 furlongs. These are maidens 3 and up. 3-2 on Buying Rain with Santos.
In the gate, and they're off. Buying Rain gets off to a good start. So does Dial 6. Better Than Gold is in between them. And toward the outside, Boston Broker. Moving up the backstretch, Boston Broker, Dial 6, Buying Rain, and Better Than Gold. All those in the early mix. Then a break of 3 back to Freddie, who lets the other 4 fight it out and sits back in 5th position. Another 2 lengths back to Proud Whirl, now running in 6th. Tiverton, 7th on the inside. On the outside, Simply Bob is next. Then a break of 3 back to Deputy Chairman, and a break of about 8 lengths back to himself alone. The field moving into the far turn, Dial 6 and Boston Broker matching strides on the lead. Boston Broker and Dial 6 through a contested quarter in 22 3/5 seconds. Buying Rain trying to get closer to them, and Freddie is 4th. A break of 3 back to Proud World, now in 5th. They're nearing the top of the stretch, and it is Boston Broker with a short lead. Room at the inside now for Freddie. Jerry Bailey takes the advantage of the rail and sends Freddie on through to the lead. But here comes on the outside is Proud Whirl. They're coming down to the last furlong, and Proud Whirl has taken over, leaving the others behind. Freddie is back in.
Well-bred horse was put in for a claim first time, but this is the third time, and he wins for fun. Second leading trainer, John Kimmel, done it with a lot less horses. Big meet for him. Hilmar Schmidt, Jorge Chavez. 1146, 320. Simply Bob, 1865.70. Favorite buying rein, 250. 10-9's $230.50. Try 10-9-5, $587. Melon Turf, 3 and up, State Breds. Now wins a race other than 6-5. Emma ready to run. Jose Santos.
And they're off. Bud Like and Biggie Munn down toward the inside. Emma ready to run. So they make the run into the first turn. Bud Like on the outside. Emma ready to run toward the inside. And just in behind them, moving up on the outside now, Biggie Munn moves into second. Emma ready to run back third by 3. And then it's Squeaky Clean running in fourth. How Goes, very hard to handle, in fifth. Then a break of 6 lengths back to Misty Midnight, who trails the field. They're moving down the back stretch. Bud Like on top. Robbie Davis trying to give him a breather. The opening quarter went in 23 2/5 seconds. Biggie Munn prompting the pace, second. Emma ready to run, sitting chilly in third, 2.5 lengths back. Pat Day gives Squeaky Clean a nudge to stay within 6 lengths of the lead. And then it's How Goes, who settles down now after being rank on the first turn. Misty Midnight is the trailer as the field heads for the far turn. A 47 3 half mile. The pace has been legitimate enough, and it's still Bud Like in front. Biggie Munn right there, ready to pounce as they make the turn toward the top of the stretch. A break of 3. Back to Emma ready to run, running in third. On the inside, How Goes. On the far outside, Squeaky Clean. At the top of the stretch now, and Biggie Munn, Ramon Perez cuts and loose. Biggie Munn on the outside, Bud Like toward the inside, and right in behind them, Emma ready to run. They're coming down to the last 16th now. It's Biggie Munn in front. Emma ready to run is full of run on the outside. Emma ready to run. Explodes.
Leo O'Brien took the blinkers off this horse. It looked like Jose was having trouble with him throughout the race, but once he gives him his head and lets him run, he just accelerates as a 6-5 should. Teresa Ma, Leo O'Brien, Jose Santos. Emma ready to run. 453, 260. The 2 horses who ran 2 days ago. Biggie Munn 350, 280. Bud Like 390. The exacta 2-3, $12.80. 7th is a mile over the inner turf. Fillies and mares 3 and up. That one is a race other than the favorites on the inside. Plus d'Honneur, Samin.
And they're off. Casanova Storm beat the gate and got to the lead quickly. Casanova Storm in front. Gentlemas comes on through second. Callis' Aria reined in. Moving into the first turn, and Gentleness very pumped up today. Gentleness is out to take the lead. Casanova Storm is second. Irish Shilling a bit hard to handle on the outside. Toward the inside, Callis' Aria is a ground-saving fourth. Free Bear is fifth, and between horses, Place d'Honneur gets a place at the inside. 3 wide round the first turn was Serena Star. She's about 10 lengths from the front-running Gentleness, then Mirror Dancing, and down inside, Peaceful Approval. It's a big break back to Hometown Lass, who's about 10 lengths behind the rest of the field. Moving down the backstretch, and it's Gentleness out there by 3 lengths. Gentleness leads the way. Callis' Aria running in second. On the outside, Irish Shilling is third. Casanova Storm is back and forth. Place d'Honneur bottled up down on the inside fifth. Free Bears in the clear on the outside sixth as the field rounds the far turn. It's still Gentleness, the controlling speed here. Gentleness maintains a clear advantage by 3. Followed by Callis' Aria running in second. Casanova Storm down toward the inside. An Irish Shilling, Free Bears in the far outside. They're coming down to the last furlong now. Gentleness still trying to hang in there. On the inside, Casanova Storm now darts to the front. Casanova Storm is in front and pulling.
What a nice ride by Santos. He beat the gate, but he took back, let the others battle up front, and he settled on the inside and gets through to win it. Casanova Storm, a layoff filly from Edward P. Evans, Mark Henning, Jose Santos. 1440, that's his third, 675.10. Gentleness, 530, 460. Callis' Aria, 1020. The exacta 5.7, $60.50. Co-feature today, 34th running Seneca, grade 3, $100,000 air, a 1 5/8 over the melon turf. The favorite, the number 7, Flitch with Jerry Bailey.
And they're off. Pen 53, Heavy Rain, Lermine, Flitch, and Shrewd Idea. And it's Shrewd Idea down inside for the early lead. Nash Terrace is alongside Shrewd Idea in the early stages here, followed by Lermine on the outside third. Heavy Rain is reined in to run in fourth. Flitch came out fifth. It's a hard-held Glenberra who secures a spot, saving ground down inside. At the back of the pack are Pen 53 and a muzzled Shootback. They're making the way into the stretch for the first time, and Shrewd Idea free and clear on the lead, breezing along, opening up easily by 3 on the field. With Nash Terrace sitting back in second, it's another 3 back to Lermine third. Flitch on the outside fourth. Down toward the inside, it's Heavy Rain. Glenberra's in the clear. Then a break of 3 back to Pen 53, and Shootback is still restrained at the back of the pack. The pace is very easy indeed. Shrewd Idea has run a nonchalant opening half mile in 50 1/5 seconds. Nash Terrace continues to rate in second by 3. On the inside, Lermine is running in third, and now on the outside, Flitch takes third position. Lermine is back to fourth, about 7 lengths from front-running Shrewd Idea. Making their way into the backstretch, Shrewd Idea is still in front. Moving easily, ran 3/4 in 1:14.1. Shrewd Idea haven't come after him yet, still on cruise control. Nash Terrace been tracking intently the whole way. Flitch well within striking range third. On the outside, Glenberra, then Heavy Rain. Shootback, hard held earlier, makes a move with 4.5 furlongs to go. The field heading for the far turn. Shrewd Idea has led through easy fractions, a tactical advantage for Shrewd Idea. On the inside, Nash Terrace, and Flitch now called on for his rallies on the outside. Around the far turn, here comes Nash Terrace to engage Shrewd Idea. Flitch is put to a drive. Those 3 coming to the top of the stretch together. There's a break of 4 lengths back to Pen 53 and Shootback. For the inside, Glenberra nearing the top of the stretch. Shrewd Idea down inside, holding on. Shrewd Idea holding on to a short lead. On the outside, Flitch. In between those 2, Nash Terrace. Shootback last earlier is coming fast on the outside. And now it's Flitch who's emerged with the lead. Flitch.
Billy Badgett kept this horse training all meeting for this race. He pointed for it. He's going to get it. Flitch with Jerry Bailey, Billy Badgett, Loblolly stable. 640, 420, 290. Shootback, hard to handle, runs well under semi. 690, 440. Shrewd Idea by a nose for the show, 430. 7-8, 45, 40 tries, 781, 189.50. The pick 6, well, we had to give it away, wouldn't it? 3 of 3's 98 on the pick 3. As for the pick 6, 71.81, 5 of 6, $140. On to the 9th. This is the 17th running of the Forego. Grade 2, $150,000, 7 furlong race. Favorite here, the number 2. Top account, Pat Day.
And they're off. And Top Account was left at the gate. Top Account spotting the field about 5 or 6 lengths right from the beginning. Reality Road out to take the early lead, and the Light the Fuse comes through on the inside of Reality Road. Then Carawan and Cold Execution 2 lengths back to Not Surprising, who's under stout restraint. Then toward the inside, it's Lang 4, and a break of 6 or 7 lengths back to Top Account, who had that flat-footed start. The opening quarter was 22 seconds flat. They're moving down the backstretch. Light the Fuse has come through on the inside of Reality Road to take a half-length lead. It's Light the Fuse in front into the far turn. Reality Road is second by 3.5 lengths. K-Rawan is running third by 3, followed by Cold Execution running in fourth. Langford put to a drive on the inside. Not Surprising, left with a lot to do. He's about 10 lengths from the lead, and still trailing the field is Top Account. They're coming to the top of the stretch. Light the Fuse and Reality Road head to head as they turn for home. Light the Fuse down inside. Reality Road right there with them. Those 2 now 3 lengths clear. Lang 4 is putting in his bend. Then K-Rawan, Not Surprising, 5 lengths behind. To his outside, it's Top Account coming down the last furlong. Here comes Lang 4. Lang 4 has taken the lead. And
What would have happened if Top Account had broken last but with the field? He probably would have won it, but take nothing away from the horse that's winning it. A big overlay is Lang Fuhr. He's a killer at 7 furlongs, and he's a killer today, but he acted up before the race. Gustav Schiegendon's Mike Keogh, Jorge Chavez. 40, 1140, 440. Top Account ran well, 330, 250. Light the Fuse, 270. 6-2's 103.50. Try 621, $369. Let's wrap up Saratoga. Mile and 1/8 over the Mellon Turf. Maidens 3 and up. The favorite here is the number 7 Super Firm, Pat Day.
And they're off. It's Our Theme who comes away first. Toward the outside, Pro Doc is there. Farthest out, Mobby. Under the line the first time. Pro Doc will take the field along in the early going. Mobby on the outside, running eagerly in the early going. Our Theme gets a spot at the inside, running in 3rd position, followed by Wish You Go Boy, who is 4th. Super Firm, 5th on the outside. On the rails, Soaring Over Seattle is 6th. First Ashore is 7th, followed by Kill 8th. A break of 2 back to Mr. Moorhead, and at the back of the pack, Forrest Gumption and Financial Mania. As they make their way into the back stretch, it's Pro Doc clear on the lead by 2. Mobby chasing second by 4.5. Our Theme is 3rd. Super Firm 4th on the outside. Wish You Go Boy 5th by 3. Then it's Kill Soaring Over Seattle, First Ashore. On the outside, Mr. Moorhead, and it's 5 lengths back to the 2 trailers, Financial Mania and Forrest Gumption. Less than a half mile to run, and Pro Doc looking good at this point. Pro Doc in front by 4 as they enter the far turn. Edmund Furtado getting after Mobby, but now dropping 5 lengths from the lead. Super Firm is 3rd. On the far outside, Wish You Go Boy is 4th. Our Theme is 5th, followed by Mr. Moorhead. It's been Pro Doc the whole way, and Pro Doc is still in front by 5 with 2 furlongs to go. Super Firm is giving chase in 2nd, and then it's Our Theme 3rd, and on the far outside, Mr. Moorhead. Down to the last furlong. Now Heriberto Castillo takes the whip out on Pro Doc. Still there with a 4.5 length lead, less than a furlong to run. Mr. Moorhead gaining ground on the outside. Still
Big overlay on this horse. He's 3-1 on the line, and that was the correct price. His last race, he almost wired the field from post 10. Today, he draws a little more reasonable post, and he does wire them. Pro Doc, George Ruggieri, Red Terrell, Heriberto Castillo Jr., 14, 660, 350, Mr. Moorhead, 460, 250, Super Firm, 240. The 8-1's $50.50. Try is small, but they were 3 of the chalks. The 8-1-7, 107.50. Doubles value, 6 and 8, 297.50. Saratoga meeting highlighted by the weather and some great racing. We'll wrap it up on Inside Racing tomorrow night with some races of the week, and you'll meet leading jockey 3rd year in a row, Jerry Bailey. Billy Mott was the leading trainer, Jerry Bailey the leading rider. Jerry tomorrow night on Inside Racing. Belmont opens Friday. Good night. May the horse be with you.